to the surprise of everyone. I didn't get the chance to play Dead Space until this year thanks to the new remake. And oh boy, you can't imagine my first reaction to this enthralling adventure. It had everything: the horror, the atmosphere, the cool suit and weapons, and of course the amazing protagonist, Isaac Clarke. Since I was always a big fan of third-person shooter games, Resident Evil 4 was my favorite game of all time. So when I met this sweet child of franchise, I was hooked the first second I started playing it. It feels and plays like Resident Evil 4 but in space and cooler destinations. Dead Space is one of the best and loved survival horror games out there, with the most deadly and interesting monsters called necromorphs. So me here, Tarek, with you, gonna give you my personal top 10 hardest bosses in Dead Space franchise from Dead Space 1 to 3. Let's start with the easiest one, shall we? The Brute. They appear in Dead Space 1 and 2. Despite their size and strength, they can be easy to put down by targeting the yellow weak spots in the armpit or the back. When the creature stops charging or retracts into defensive ball, they can put you down in just 2 hits on higher difficulties. So be careful. The tripod are extremely violent. They attack by swinging its long arm and wide arc, so always stay on the move. Best strategy to beat this thing is the flamethrower and the line gun. They are your buddies in this fights, and using stasis all the time is crucial too. In the elevator sequence, the force gun is the best way to go to dismember it entirely. Just make sure you are close enough to use it. This spider hybrid tentacle thingy is made up of many human corpses. It uses its long tentacles and long tongue to catch you. Its yellowish tissues on the tentacles are its weak spot. When it's dismembered, a secondary set appears, which when damaged the beast will retreat and regenerate. Try to keep some indestructible world object between you and it to avoid its charge attack. Best guns to use are the rivet shotgun for the tentacles and the line gun. Stasis is pretty useful against its unavoidable charge attack. A very simple tactic to defeat Nicole and the marker easily, no matter the difficulty level, is using the force gun at a very short range against Nicole, and use seeker rifles alt fire for the marker. Be careful to not get too close to Nicole Ghost, or Isaac will shoot himself in the head. the source of the markers and the necromorphs, and even the Dead Space game's Tau Volantis. It spits out slashers and twitchers. Of course, before fighting this gigantic planet you need to fly toward its mouth. In one of the coolest sequences in video games history, Superman games should take notes. The moon is impervious to any weapons in Isaac's arsenal. The only way to defeat it is destroying its 3 eyes, using kinesis to grab markers floating around and launch them into its eyes. One of the most annoying boss fights there is. This massive mouth uses 3 tentacles to bash or sweep attack you. It can produce bombs too. Take my advice, never stop moving. I know it's hard since we are in 0G area. Dodge its attacks with jumping from floor to ceiling, or vice versa. Flamethrower is your best friend here. The way to beat it is using kinesis to grab pods and shoot it back at its face. Get it? The Hunter is similar in appearance to a slasher, though it is larger and is able to regenerate any dismembered limbs just like Resident Evil 4 Regenerator. They tend to try to get close in slashing and impaling with its blades. Best strategy for this dude to use your environment to your advantage. Just like every necromorph, dismember with line gun. And stasis is the way to go to buy yourself time, and please don't waste your ammo. The Nexus is the older brother of the hive mind. This insect-like shoots pods which spawns feeders. Be careful of its huge claws which can crush you, plus as bonus, it can grab you and eat you. Isn't that cool? It's best to use rapid fire against its nests inside its stomach. Avoid the pustules, and concentrate on the chest cavity. That what she said. The second place goes to the hive mind. You can put it the first place too if you want. To be honest, it was a hard choice. This worm-like slams you with its many large tentacles. It can grab you and devour you just like its brother, though it spits out pregnants instead of feeders. Try to shoot its 5 pustules in its mouth. Once they are destroyed, it will spawn necromorphs, or attempt to devour you. It depends on the version of the game you are playing, the original or the remake. Line gun and contact beam are your best chance against it. I don't know why this dude does remind me of Silent Hill, I wonder. This DLC boss is, in my opinion, the hardest boss in Dead Space, in the highest difficulty, because of his immunity to physical harm and teleportation, plus the shock factor and the creepy music and background. I had hard time not shitting myself the first time. I met this pyramid head. This fight is pretty simple. Just destroy the 3 markers. Then you can shoot this cult leader. This gonna do it for this boss ranking. Leave a comment if you have an opinion about this video, and leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to watch more of this ranking videos bosses, and thank you for watching.
Make us whole again.